Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and today we're going to be talking about Funko Fusion because we just got a ton of new gameplay from the recent Nintendo Direct. And this is actually the first time that we're seeing Nintendo Switch gameplay of the game, which is pretty cool. So we're going to do a little bit of a breakdown of all the new footage. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so the new footage here starts off with some Jaws action. This is the first time we're seeing Jaws in the game. And I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room here. So yes, this is the Switch version. And you can tell there is definitely a pretty massive graphical downgrade compared to the other consoles. I think so far we've always kind of seen the Xbox Series X, or it might have been the PC version. But now we're seeing the Switch version, and yeah, it runs at a lower resolution. Textures are pretty low. Frame rate seems pretty low as well. But you know what? Nintendo Switch, it's got some age on it now. It's a handheld console. There's only so much processing power. But I think the developers are doing their best to make it look as good as possible. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. So we got Jaws. The player is playing as Brody here, I believe, with his chum bucket. And here you can see the shark just comes straight out of the ground here, or from the sea. And there are some vinyl currency that comes out as well. And then Brody pulls out a gun here. I don't know, is this like a harpoon gun of some kind? It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I know he uses an M1 Garand in the movie, but this has something like attached to it. But anyway, he starts to attack the shark, and then it goes into Masters of the Universe, and we've seen this, world before in the previous IGN Live gameplay, but it's got the cool cel-shaded art style. The player's playing as Prince Adam, or He-Man here, taking on some enemies. And then it jumps into Back to the Future, and this is the first time we're really seeing proper Back to the Future gameplay, but the player is playing as Scott Pilgrim, so there's a little bit of a mix mash of universes here. And man, let's look at the textures on the Hill Valley sign on the Switch version. It's like blurry, you can't even read the font. It's pretty crazy. Let's see here, let's see if there's anything to point out. Looks like there might be some interactable objects there in the back in those different stores. Here we got the diner from the movie, pretty famous location. And here is Marty McFly waiting for us. And if we go back, you can see here the DeLorean, the time machine here, has some like missing parts, it looks like. I think these are parts that you have to go around the city and find. At least that's my theory, because it seems like they're holograms kind of showing what's missing. Like, it seems like you have to find the wheel and these different components of the time machine. At least that's my theory for what the objective is for this world. But Marty McFly is just kind of waiting out there. Alright, and this next scene is really cool because it looks like some sort of central hub world location for Funko Fusion. And we definitely have not seen this before. So we have Freddy Funko himself right here kind of operating things. There's some sort of Funko dog here on the left. And is that another dog on the right, or is that a fox? Not sure, but we got some gears in the background. Lots of Funko crowns. There's some purple gas coming out here. And if you've seen, any of the marketing and stuff for this game, there's lots of purple gas when they're traveling between the universes and stuff. So I'm wondering if this is like a hatch that leads to a different universe. But this, in my opinion, this is some sort of central hub that's going to lead to all the different universes in the game. There is this Funko Pop over here on the right, Psycho Shriner, I think it's called. I'm assuming that's real Funko Pop in real life. And there's another one down here. There's another room, so this is a pretty big hub. And then right here in the background, I think this is some sort of shop because you see the different colors of vinyl that we've seen in the gameplay. So maybe this is a spot where you can spend your vinyl currency. There's a computer right there you can interact with. So yeah, this seems to be a central location of some sort. But yeah, this is definitely the first time we've ever seen this. And definitely a location to look out for in future gameplay that we get. And also the player is playing as Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got He-Man, except the player is playing as Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's. He's got this cool looking gun of some sort for his ranged attack. And he's fighting some sort of enemy from Master of the Universe. I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with that franchise. But he does have purple eyes, so he's being mind-controlled by Eddie Funko, who I believe is the villain of the game. This does seem to be a pretty major boss fight. You can see he does some sort of ground pound there, or slam, and then you have to jump to avoid the green smoke. Alright, and this next scene is really cool because this looks like the character select screen in the game. So you have all these different Funko Pops on the shelf, and then I believe this is how you're going to kind of choose your character. This is really cool. There's lots of character confirmations here, so we're going to see if we can figure out who all these different people are. So first off, in the very bottom left, this is definitely a character from The Thing due to the blue, box. And this appears to be the Thing dog, like the alien-possessed dog. At least that's my theory, but if it's something else, let me know. Next up, we have Childs from the Thing. We've seen him before. And then over here, we've got Shaun of the Dead. This is the character called Ed. And then we have Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. And then over here, we've got MT Gary from the Thing. And then we've got RJ McCready from the Thing, the main character. And then over here is Knowles. You can straight up read it there, from the Thing. So lots of Thing characters with a couple Shaun of the Dead mixed in there. Then on this next shelf, we have, I believe this is number 5 from Umbrella Academy. And we've got Reginald from Umbrella Academy. We've got Diego from Umbrella Academy. Doc 1955 version from Back to the Future. Marty and Puffy Vest from Back to the Future. We've got Allison from the Umbrella Academy. Then over here is Klaus from the Umbrella Academy. And then up here on the top shelf, it's actually going to scroll up. Then up here on this next shelf, we've got Nicholas Angel from Hot Fuzz. Doris Thatcher from Hot Fuzz, Sergeant Tony Fisher from Hot Fuzz, Simon Skinner from Hot Fuzz, and then Danny Butterman from Hot Fuzz. So a lot of Hot Fuzz characters there. And then over here on the right, we've got Invincible. We got Invincible himself, and then as well as Omni-Man is confirmed. You can just see the edge of the box there. You don't actually get to see what his figure looks like, but yes, Omni-Man is confirmed. All right, moving up. Here we've got some more characters, and over here on the left is Prince Adam from He-Man. Or Master of the Universe, I should say. And then we've got The Mummy. This is Evelyn Carnahan from The Mummy. We've got Rick O'Connell from The Mummy. We've seen gameplay of him. Man-at-Arms from Master of the Universe. Orko from Masters of the Universe. Prince Adam from Masters of the Universe. And then we've got Skeletor as well over there on the right. And up here at the top, I'm not sure what this character is at the very top left. It looks like almost like an Egyptian character maybe from The Mummy. Some sort of female character, but let me know in the comments below what you think that character is. That's pretty much the only one I really couldn't determine out of all this roster here. Then over here we have Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim himself. We've got Steven Stills from Scott Pilgrim. There's actually 2 different versions of Steven Stills, so that's kind of cool, different outfits there. Then we've got Gideon Graves from Scott Pilgrim. Then over here on the right is Foxy, I believe, from Five Nights at Freddy's. So lots of characters here. Let's continue on here. It starts scrolling through them a little bit. Let's make sure we don't miss any. Oh, here at the very end here, we see another version of Prince Adam, Teela from Masters of the Universe, and then another He-Man from Masters of the Universe. So a lot of characters there. There's actually a slightly better look at Omni-Man from Invincible, but yeah, lots of character confirmations here in Funko Fusion. Man, look at those character models here on the Switch version. A little bit rough. All right, next up we get some gameplay of Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim. She's got her own pink gun of sorts. I'm not sure what franchise this is from. Some sort of snowy castle environment. I want to say it's either Hot Fuzz, but I don't think Hot Fuzz takes place in the winter. Or it could be Umbrella Academy as well. I think there's might be some castles in that, but let me know the franchise that takes place in. But next up here is Nope. This is the first little bit of gameplay that we've really seen of Nope. This is Emerald Haywood, Kiki Palmer's character from Nope. And there's some sort of Funko box in the background there. So that can be interacted with, but not too much else to notice there. And here we have our first look at Five Nights at Freddy's universe. The player is playing as Klaus from Umbrella Academy, but this is Five Nights at Freddy's. You can see this camera is linked up with this some sort of electrical cable here that's lit up. So I wonder if you have to like disconnect the cameras. But moving on here, we have Shaun of the Dead, and we got our 2 characters here. We have Shaun and Ed, and I'm not sure who this other character is. Looks like a female character. Let me know in the comments who this female character is from Shaun of the Dead. I'm planning on watching a lot of these franchises, by the way, before this game comes out. So hopefully I'll be a little bit more familiar with a lot of these. But definitely Shaun and definitely Ed here. But they're like they're acting like as if they're zombies, I guess, to blend in a little bit. So pretty cool scene there. Here we have Freddy Fazbear gameplay here, but within the Mummy universe, taking on a bunch of mummies. And here we have Scott Pilgrim universe. This is the first time we've seen Scott Pilgrim, and he's like charging up this amp with his guitar. So I think his guitar is like his ranged attack, which is kind of cool. And he goes and destroys this statue, and then it gives you some vinyl currency. Here we have some footage from Masters of the Universe playing as Teela. We have another one of these green, what I think is some sort of health terminal. I think you go up to this to get more health. Just a theory. And then we have another treasure chest right here, and as you know, if you've seen any of the gameplay of this game, there's treasure chest everywhere in Funko Fusion. And then the next clip here goes into Jurassic World. We've actually seen this same scene from one of the prior trailers. We have another Funko Pop box in the background there. I'm not sure. It looks like it's almost for, is that Childs from the thing? I'm not entirely sure. Some sort of character there. I'm not sure if that's where you swap characters, or maybe that's where in free play you can switch to any character you want. We just don't know, but we see those Funko Pop boxes quite a bit throughout the gameplay that we've seen so far. And you can see this dinosaur here has the same attack that He-Man boss had, where it sends out this shockwave. This time it's a yellow shockwave instead of a green one. You have to jump to avoid it. Here we've got some Battlestar Galactica gameplay. I believe this character's name is Starbuck. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're taking on some Cylons here. Got some sort of interactable object right there, it looks like. And it looks like maybe a blue chest over there on the right, doing a ground pound attack. And there's also one of these terminals as well that you can interact with. But next up is Chucky, and I think he's in the Hot Fuzz universe here. And he puts down some sort of, I'm not sure what this device is. Some sort of inflatable device. Let me know your theories on what that might do. I wonder if this is some sort of light that might come out of there. Maybe it spawns something for you. Again, it's really unclear as of right now. Then we have this final shot, which we've seen a whole bunch from Jurassic World. There's a whole GIF and everything of this shot, and this is the first time we're seeing the Switch version of it, and of the big T-Rex coming out here. And you can see here at the beginning of the footage, there's a Funko Pop guy that just disappears. So I'm not sure if that was like an enemy that got taken out or just a dead body that just disappears. It's kind of unclear, but we get a lot of different vinyl currency around here as well. But yeah, guys, that is it for this footage. And at the end, it does say available September 13th, 2024. So the game is not delayed for the Switch, at least not digitally. Physically, it does seem to be delayed because every single retailer is still listing the Switch version for a November 15th release date. So keep that in mind. If you want to play the Switch version physically, you are going to have to wait a couple more months. So if I were you, I'd probably try to get it on a different console, or you can, get it digitally and get it on the same date as everyone else. But guys, that is the new footage from the Nintendo Direct of Funko Fusion. So let me know any of the questions that I raised throughout this video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the Switch version graphics? They definitely look a little rough in my opinion, but it is what it is. So like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.